You know, when you're scrolling through a real estate app looking at pictures of homes, ever stop to think about who actually owns those photos? Well, it turns out that simple question is at the very heart of an absolutely massive legal war between two tech giants. So today, we're going to break down how thousands of simple property pictures could literally change the future of the multi-trillion-dollar real estate industry. The whole thing really boils down to this one number, over 53,000. That's how many photos one company is accusing another of straight up stealing. And look, this isn't just some run-of-the-mill copyright claim, about using an image without permission. No. The accusation here is much, much bigger. It's that an entire business was built on a foundation of stolen data. So in one corner, you've got CoStar Group. Think of them as the data powerhouse working behind the scenes, collecting just vast amounts of real estate info, including millions of professional photos. And in the other corner, you have the company we all know, Zillow, the giant public website we all go to when we're dreaming about a new house. So one company creates the data, the other presents it to the world. And that, right there, is where the fight starts. Okay, so first, let's dive into CoStar's side of the story. They aren't just saying a simple mistake was made here. They're alleging something they call rampant infringement. And this quote from CoStar's top lawyer really gets to the heart of it. They're not saying this was an accident. They're accusing Zillow of a deliberate, calculated business strategy. They're basically arguing that Zillow has the power to stop this, but is actively choosing not to because, well, it's making them money. And CoStar really wants to make it crystal clear just how big they think this is. They're trying to position this as one of the largest image infringement cases in the history of real estate. So for them, this isn't just about getting paid for a few photos. It's about drawing a line in the sand for data ownership for the whole industry. So what's CoStar's theory here? How did this all go down? Well, they break it down into 4 simple steps. It starts, they claim, with Zillow just using their photos without asking. Then, that content helps build out Zillow's listings, which brings in massive web traffic. Now here's the really crucial part. CoStar claims that data is then used to train Zillow's powerful AI, like the Zestimate. This isn't just about making estimates more accurate. It's about building a super intelligent system that no competitor can easily copy. And the final step? All that traffic gets turned into cash from paying agents. But as you can imagine, Zillow has a completely different take on all this. They're not just denying the claims, they're calling the entire lawsuit wasteful litigation. Zillow's response is just as sharp. This quote from their spokesperson flips the entire script. They argue this lawsuit isn't really about protecting copyrights. It's a business tactic. From their perspective, CoStar is just using the courts to try and win a battle that it can't win in the actual marketplace with a better product. Zillow is even using CoStar's own legal moves against them. They're pointing to the fact that CoStar had to change its original complaint as proof that the whole case is weak. Their logic is pretty simple. If the evidence was so strong in the first place, why did you have to change your story? They're painting it as a sign of a really shaky legal foundation. So why should any of us care about two giant companies fighting over some photos? Because this isn't just about pictures. This case really gets to the core of how business is done in the digital age. And believe me, the stakes are enormous for the entire industry. And this whole thing has only gotten bigger over time. It kicked off back in July with a claim over about 47,000 images. Then in September, Zillow said it was taking them down as just standard procedure. But now, CoStar claims the problem has actually gotten worse, with the number of photos climbing past 53,000. They even allege that some images Zillow supposedly removed have just popped right back up on the site. And this brings us to what's really at stake here. This fight is not just about photos. It's about who controls data, which is one of the most valuable assets in the modern economy. It's about who gets to use that data to train powerful AI. I mean, think about it. The company with the best data can build the smartest tools, which creates a product that's so good it becomes essential, and that can lock out competitors for years. Ultimately, this is a fight for who will dominate the market and capture the billions of dollars in advertising that comes with it. So, as it stands right now, neither side is backing down. The legal arguments are all set, and the stage is prepared for what looks like a long, drawn-out battle that could actually redefine the rules of competition in real estate tech. So, it really all comes down to this. On one side, you have CoStar claiming massive, deliberate, and ongoing theft. On the other side, you have Zillow calling this a wasteful, anti-competitive lawsuit that's built on a shaky case. The two sides could not be further apart. And that leaves all of us with this final, really critical question. In an economy where data is basically more valuable than oil, Where exactly do we draw the line between aggressive business competition and outright theft? This lawsuit is about way more than just photos. It's about defining that very line for our future.